Welcome to Give Permission to Ask Questions on a Monday Morning, Season 4, Episode 4. Um, Structural thought is play today. Matt, who are you? Give your 30-second elevator pitch.
Hello, my name is Matthew. I run a digital marketing agency. We're LinkedIn centric, helping clients navigate and get traction on LinkedIn. We use a multi-touch approach, often managed outreach, but then we also use paid ads and stuff for retargeting and other trickery and wizardry on LinkedIn. And yeah, that's me.
Matt does things so you don't have to do it.
Thank you. Thank
That,
you. It is a done for you service. Absolutely.
that's the
And
great part of what Matt does.
it seems to be part of me.
Do you not want to market? Just get Matt to. He's very witty. He will
Yes.
use words to impress.
It is definitely, I tried to automate a lot of this, and then I'm realizing it just takes full hand holding and onboarding and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's very, even though we're all on computers and Zooms, it's very tactile, of course.
The average person takes life so seriously. But the first time I met Matt, I was like, wait, why are we having a fun conversation? Wait, he knows how to cleverly banter. Do you know how hard it is to find you, especially when you clever banter and you get like really boring sentences all the time? You're like, yes, this is a friend because they can like clever banter together, which makes amazing like conversation. So I think I've known Matt for like 2 years. It's got to be 2 years now. And like every time we
I
talk,
think
it's like,
so.
super fun.
Yeah,
So like our problem is
absolutely.
we have we play at work, but like maybe we play too hard at work. So it's like, are we professional? Yes. So
I think so.
uh, how does Armstrong play the game? I want tips and tricks to marketing. How do you do it?
Yeah, I'll probably have to back it up a little bit. So
Woo, that's fair.
I wouldn't say this is a second kind of, I've always been in business or my own sales, and now doing it for the last several years for clients. And we have enough clients now that we see the data come across. And, I think there's a few narratives that are fighting each other. There's a lot of people selling ad courses out there where it's like, I got a funnel that, you show them this piece of creative on Facebook ads and you'll make $1 million. Well, I'm not saying that's not possible to do that, because I do have close contacts that can do that for clients. It's just the amount of money that takes, the amount of testing it takes. But at the end of the day, just being available and just being even grassroots bootstrapping it inside of Facebook forums or any kind of community and just adding value really blew me away, that how valuable it was at getting clients. And sometimes, sometimes even if you don't know the answer, just go Google it and you become like an authority over time. And that's what really hit me, especially, selling something is one thing, going to a trade show, shaking hands, but trying to stop someone for a minute long enough to have them listen to you is a real challenge online. And everyone thinks that you just snap your fingers, run a couple ads, and look at that, everyone's falling all over you to pull out their credit card, but you're just one of a million people doing that. And so there is a challenge. I have a bit of a saying that I haven't seen it anywhere else, so I'm going to say I coined it. So I'm sure someone else has used it, but that the conversions are in the conversations. And I really mean that we have to have that sort of that genesis event where we at least are connecting with someone or we're communicating with them well before we can have any kind of a conversion event, if that's the goal. Like, not everyone has to be a client, of course, but yeah, and that speaks to what you're seeing, the trends, this whole demand gen happening online, and podcasts, and shows like this and that sort of thing. And so it's definitely, it's not a new thing, but I think with the world rushing online, and with privacy laws and those challenges and rising costs to run ads, a lot of companies are looking for other, or maybe more willing to entertain other avenues for sales.
I
That's my,
say cheese gets you leads. And I said that way earlier to you. I'm like, hey,
that's
just be
true.
super
I like it.
cheesy.
I like it.
Community and synergy. So at the end of the day, really good business is done with people you know, like, and trust. How do you trust
Yes.
people? You play
Yeah.
with them. You like entertain and spark their souls, and you help them to learn and grow. because like honestly in business I find giving back is the best, or like even just you die anyways. Do you know what I mean? So like how are you going to play the game? I would rather play the game with people. And so like when I say play, I'm like, hey, these are my top four values: a sense of purpose, humor and playfulness, which is why I am who I am, leadership, and like integrity, doing it well.
Mhm.
So this year, the
Love it.
theme for me is diligence and proficiency in play. So like diligence is doing something over and over again, and proficiency is refined movement. So really, that's where I'm going in 2023. Matt, what are your top four values in life?
Yeah, so, I guess I'll just speak to my what I'm doing professionally right now because it's working for me,
Mhm.
and it's been a road, absolutely. And so my goal is I'm just not stopping. I'm not stopping what I've been doing and not setting back on any kind of laurels or anything because scaling it to the moon, is that the move for everyone? Is that suitable for myself and my business and my personal life? I'm not really sure at this point, but it's momentum that I'm not going to slow down. So I'm very narrowly focused on this right now. I'm working it. It's working, and clients are seeing results for it. And so I know I'm on the right path. I'm on a warp path. Don't get me wrong. I live in front of my computer, which is I built my prison, and I'm hanging out in it.
Your prison is
But
like
yeah,
all the way in crazy land on a beach. Like, oh, it's so terrible. Your prison is not terrible.
well, I'm. It's not terrible. Don't get me wrong. I have no complaints. I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing. But no, I'm in the desert. I guess you could say the beach. The closest beach would be through other countries. That would be a challenge. The closest beach would be the Dead Sea, which is the lowest place on Earth. A little fun fact for you. And it is 10 times saltier than the saltiest ocean or sea on the planet. It's an amazing experience. If anyone ever gets a chance to check it out, you can access it through Israel or Jordan, which is where I am currently. There you go.
That was one value, but it was like all consuming value of like never stop. So I get why you said that because you're
Yeah,
like, fuck four values. Let's give me one, Lorette. Oh my God, I swore.
just not
Whoopsie.
stop. I'm not stopping. Yeah, honestly, I'm like, I'm just on a war path. I'm smiling, but I'm just pushing everything out of my way and going hard here. And
The
because I
rock is
also
real.
is very, very real right now. I'm very serious about what I'm doing, even though I'm always laughing and joking.
Mhm.
But no, it's a really cool offer. It's working for me, as I said. So I'm there's just really nothing else I'm focused on. I know we're doing the right thing. We're not spamming. We're not dealing with any kind of fake accounts or anything like that. So those are certainly pillars of success. Is that spam doesn't scale. Being a degenerate marketer isn't isn't of value to anyone. And so certainly, integrity and just if I say say I'll do something, I do it.
Mhm.
And being just charging a fair price and just pushing is the situation I'm in right now. That's working for me. So I'm just, yeah,
Really good
I'm not.
business is like match. So like you would want to find clients that are like, let's do this. I'm gonna push, push, push. That's how I like.
Yes.
So like anyone that's like, I want to do this and I'm diligent and proficient. I'm just gonna throw my words out there. Work with Matt. I
Yeah.
originally
And
go ahead.
well, sorry, I don't have a pitch deck. But I'm doing like 15, 20 calls a week at this point,
Mhm.
and I just talk. And clearly that's a skill set of mine, just going on and on. But I do tell every client that this takes buy-in, that you have to take it seriously. That if you want to excel on LinkedIn, that you have to pony up a couple bucks, of course, and you have to have your tools in place, Sales Navigator and all that. But it really does take buy-in. I say a few things. One, it takes buy-in. Two, this is not a golden horse of promises, and which so many ad guys do. Oh yeah, I got this thing. It'll just like look at this campaign that we got lucky on, and you're going to roll that across all my campaigns, which is just not a factual event
Well, and what if you
online,
had one
anyways.
conversation that changed someone's life? Because you really only need
Yeah.
one person when advertising and 15 conversations. I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Like one of my second year. And it was awesome because I had like the best conversations and I had the best clients. And like sometimes your energy switches. So like I'm the empress now. And like my clients just come to me
Excellent.
from all of the touch points that I've done with my pushing from year 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So like business
Yeah.
does come to you, but there's a push
Mhm.
before. And it really is like, what are you pushing for? Why are you pushing for? Um, it's funny because I'm like, should I take the conversation here or should I take the conversation here? So
You know,
with
this is your world. I'm just living in it.
I'm just living in it. Um, I asked the question at a party 2 days ago, and she's like, I plead the fifth on this. I was like, oh, interesting. I actually don't think she knew the answer, or she didn't want to tell me the answer, or there was no answer. Like she has streams of income, but none of them are actually making money. I think that's actually what
Yeah.
was going on. So, like Phoenix Career Development, we teach 7 streams of income, 7 streams of spiritual growth. Seven is like a holy number, seven is a completion number. Like I'm in my 4th year of business, but in my final empire is my 7th year, so like still in my 4th year, haven't really created the empire yet, but it's all in the mind anyways. So you can
Love it.
refuse to answer this question. What do you do for your 7 streams of income?
So initially I got started in real estate. So I had a small real estate portfolio in Canada, managing some rental properties and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one, and Canadian real estate has gone gangbusters. So it's been advantageous, even though, some challenges on the renter side during COVID and that sort of thing. So that's one, and that's a generational thing, because that's just great to have a house that was purchased so many years ago and that sort of thing. um what else? I do work online. I have a bunch of, if you're in this game long enough and you start dealing with software, you'll develop like an affiliate ability to get a few people to sign up for things. Like, you don't have to jam affiliate codes down their throats, but if you're helpful in educating people, then you can definitely start to make some money. So I have some softwares that I don't pay for, because I have affiliates, and some of them pay me more than I pay them every month. So that's nice. Um, yeah, I have my business. My wife is a social media manager, so I don't know if I'm included in that, but that's another stream, I guess.
It's you're included then.
And then,
Yes, yes. She
yeah,
yes.
yeah, then just some investments and stuff. And I'm always like toying with ideas. And don't get me wrong, any one failure I could tell you 100, or any one success I could tell you 100
A
failures.
gabillion
Um,
failures. So
yeah,
many
I could tell. I
failures.
definitely could. And but we've had fun. I have no regrets whatsoever. Um, you know,
I
yeah,
find that like I was like, oh, 7 streams of income. I have way more than seven. And like what I like about it is their conversations of how can I help you? So like I don't tell people like per se my 7 streams of income, like, oh, let's talk about all of my streams of income because they don't care. Do you know what I mean? But I almost find that for me, if I have a conversation with someone, I'm like, oh, we need to talk about this stream of income because that would help you with your streams of income. So like I love having dual incomes. It's just like, and then it's also like entrepreneurship's like high risk, high reward. So why would you not have like a couple other risk assessments to like lower the risk? Um,
exactly.
I like money's good, but I found I work, my clients make a shit ton of money, but are extremely unhappy. So, like, that's why I implemented the 7 streams of spiritual growth, like peace, joy, patience, kindness. We all have superpowers that we cannot see. And no one's ever talked about their cool superpowers. Not that I'm going to be like, hey, Matt, what's your superpower? Because I'm like, I know what it is. But,
I don't even know what it is.
right? I'll tell you one day. Not today, sucker.
All right,
Um,
I
what do
appreciate
you
it.
think of 7 streams of spiritual growth? What's your thought on that?
Yeah, like, I don't know if I have to nail it down to a number or anything like that, but at the end of the day, we are all on a journey. Like you said, we're all going to die anyway, so who cares? But we're all renting this time. And I don't get me wrong, I've had friends where, I'm not even joking, they're getting on private jets at airports and
Yeah.
stuff and flying to where they want to go.
Mhm.
And I've seen the unhappiness, like the true depression in some of these individuals. And so I'm not that's not just because you have money. I don't like that narrative. I think we actually have a very toxic relationship with money, a lot of people
Yeah.
mentally, that, oh, if you've made it, you took it from someone else. And I believe the pie gets larger, not just everyone slices. Anyway, so back on track here. Yeah, like I definitely wouldn't want to just show up and do this for money. Like this is a game to me.
Yeah.
The whole thing is a game to me.
Yep.
Not only getting clients and retaining them and getting successes for them, getting humans to do things online. That is, of course, benefiting them. Like they're purchasing a product or something that's a service that's of benefit to them. But yeah, no, and I'm also like I had a guy book a call and then he was chatting with me a few times and I didn't like his tone even through chatting. And I know that's not fair, but I canceled the meeting and I'm like, and so I'm it's that's a big thing for me, is being empowered to make those decisions. I'm still responsible to a business at the end of the day, but I know enough that if I'm working with the wrong people, they take from the business more than they
Yeah.
add value. And that's just not going to help them nor me or any of the other clients. And you mentioned having, tons of money, or you talked about risk management. Running an agency, or at least being a freelancer, is really amazing because you're not dependent. It isn't a salary. It's risk because of that. But you're also, as you start getting clients and figuring out how to find those clients more and more, you're hedging your salary.
Mhm.
Like I talking
You make
about,
way
like
more
no one
money then.
client.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's also, I mean, like if one client leaves you,
You
you
have
didn't get fired. You didn't
four other
lose your
people that are paying
salary.
you. Yeah. That's what I found
More,
too.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
when I bought my like when I made my book, A Journey of Epic Proportions, I now had 30 people paying me every month, which is like way more than one income. Like I'm like, oh, I
sure.
never know when I make $30, but I make $30 now because I have a book. I'm like, this is
Yeah,
awesome. So I get this cute little
it's
check at
amazing.
the end of the month, and I'm like, haha, this is how many people bought my book. So it works.
It
Um,
does work. And especially something like what you're talking about is golden, because you're selling your effort. You put all that effort into the book and now you're just selling it over and over again. You don't have to do anything for that. You just have to
yeah.
have the system in place. And
Like I
yeah,
have
I have a
residual
small,
income in my purse because I have books in my purse. And so everyone's like, oh, what do you
yeah.
do for a living? Went to a
You
Halloween
just
party. Yeah. Hey, would you like to buy
I
my
love
book?
it.
Yes. So like I've never
Love it.
had a product before that I can actually physically show someone what I do, but now I have a
Yeah, it's
physical
cool.
product. So that's what I love about
Cool.
it. Um,
And are you like on Amazon, and like,
I
are you
am.
Kindle-fied and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I told you that,
So
but you don't pay attention to that because that's not important
I
to you.
do, I do. I just making sure. Yeah, you have listeners. I, try to be inclusive.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, where could I get that book? Is there a link that I could
Yeah, yeah. I'll put it in the
yeah.
link on the thing. But
Yeah,
it's
link in
like
bio.
A Journey of Epic Proportions, Slay Some Dragons. That's the first book in my first year of business, but I wanted like really good business books. This year, I'm actually going to write an allegory where it's like I met truth, I met hope, and like there's all these people along the way or whatever. And I'm like, oh man, like some people are truth, some people are hope, some people are like evil, and you should not hang out with them. So, like, exactly what you were saying. I vet my
Love it.
clients so harshly though, but there's this smell about entrepreneurship. Especially my favorite is those people that like don't know they're entrepreneurs, but they have all the telltale signs, like they're unhappy, they're like listening to their soul now, something's crying out to them and they just want to play in business. I'm like, come, come, come. But like, I've rejected people too. But the people that I've vetted to be like, hey, you're going to work at Phoenix Career Development, 5 times more the rate of pay, or like they know what they want and they start loving second by second, day by day what they do. So I'm like, I love what I do. So, which goes
Yeah,
to
nice.
the marrow of life because Matt messaged me one day, hey, sucking the marrow out of life. I'm like, what did he just say to me? What does that mean? And I Googled marrow. Um, what is your marrow of life, Matt?
I don't remember that comment.
I
Just
do because I was like, what are we saying?
it's on the
Oh,
internet
I
somewhere,
was
so
talking
it's
about
been
eating
written.
flesh and ripping flesh off of bodies. I was in that genre, and I
Nice.
think that's how you connected to marrow because I was like, let's eat some meat
Nice.
and
Yeah,
rip off
marrow.
flesh.
Honestly, you can actually cook it like bone, like marrow,
Yeah,
bone
yeah,
marrow,
yeah.
and you cook it with butter and garlic. You can actually like put it on a nice piece of bread or like a crostini or something. It's I've introduced a few people to this concept. You got to really cook it down, really, slow it. And guys are like, this is ridiculous. And it's like fatty, meaty flavor. And it's not for everyone, but I cook some marrow with garlic and some herbs and butter. And Can't go wrong.
I'm gonna
You'll
Google
feel like you're
marrow.
just going back to the Middle Ages. It'll be great.
Right? We all want to. We all are savages. Don't you lie, marrow. Meaning. Hold on.
Yeah, I love it.
A soft, fatty substance in the cavity of bones in which blood cells are produced. The white, fleshy, green skinned gourd, which is eaten as a vegetable. But honestly, it's food. Marrow is food, but it's a part of us. We are humans. We have marrow, but it's
It's true.
food too. So, like,
It is.
what makes life worth living for you? What's your purpose in life?
Jeez, we're right on it. I've had a,
This
don't get me
stuff.
wrong, knock on knock on wood. I've had I've I have it pretty good. I have no complaints. I've been kind of handed a toolbox in my life, and it was up to me to open it and deploy the tools the way I wanted to. I'm doing what I want to be doing. Um, I can, scrape a couple coins together, and I'm enjoying that journey for sure. I also have 2 young kids, and so I'm making sure that while I am grinding pretty hard on this venture, I'm showing them that it is possible. You just come up with what you want and go after it, which is a very, very different narrative than what I was taught. It was like get a job and retire and all that. And I'll be honest though, like anyone who thinks, oh yeah, I'm an entrepreneur, and I used to have a salaried job and a public service job, and you work kind of 9 to 5, and now as an entrepreneur you work 24 hours a day. Like you'll be
Me
showering, you'll be like, oh, I gotta
too.
do that, I should
Yeah.
have
Oh
that to
crap.
pick up. And
Yeah.
which is, I'm totally cool with it. Like as I said, I chose this, and so I'm really happy with it, and some of the spoils that can come out of it. So yeah, just at this point I'm very much in this sort of second chapter. I'm probably halfway through my life, to be, if not sooner. So I'm in this very much second chapter, and just trying to do all I can and relocate. And like I love kiteboarding, and I'm a beginner, but I really enjoy it and all that. So
Mhm.
yeah, just showing a couple ankle biters what they can do, and some interesting travels, because we left Canada 3.5 years ago. And
Mhm.
we didn't know when we left Canada, Corona was a beer. It wasn't a pandemic
Isn't
that
a
killed,
real thing yet.
or whatever it is. Or I don't want to trigger any of your
Whoa.
watchers or your viewers, but yeah.
I'm the definition of triggering people. So like, yeah, let's
Fair
politely
enough.
change the topic. What what do you want in your career development? So like I find the best question that you can ask is what do you want? Because then you can actually get it. So like you're in your second phase. What do you want in your career development?
I want to build this to a point where, I'm proud of what we're producing, but I want to build it to the point where I can start to walk away from it a little bit. Or
Mhm.
I believe that a farmer's footprints are the fertilizer, and but I do want to build something that can employ people
Mhm.
um, more permanently. I don't have any full-time employees, but I'd love to employ people and just have something that's profitable and everyone's winning from. It doesn't have to pay me every penny or anything like that. I just want something that builds, that we're proud of, and that opens up other opportunities. And these kind of skills, if you can talk to people and get people to look over here and take action, that's infinitely scalable. You can sell or assist in selling anything,
Mhm.
which is like the utility of these skills is amazing, because you can also get into mentoring, get into, I just don't know what the future holds for me, and things change pretty quickly around here. I
Mhm.
have no intention of stopping or slowing down what we're doing. And I like the fact that I'm pretty channel specific,
Mhm.
um, and productized. And
Mhm.
so yeah, I know that didn't really answer it, but just going to keep on trudging
Keep
forward,
going.
and seeing what doors open up. Because honestly, like I'll post a video on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and my phone will ring, and I'll talk to someone. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Like that I just spoke to this person who had so much value, and we're collaborative, or whatever. And it's just, it really is scary that you just put yourself out there a little bit. And someone, I'm not big on, social medias. I'm not big on the TikToks or anything, or I don't even have an account.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, but like on LinkedIn, I've decided to focus. And some of the phone calls, a headhunter found me the other day. I'm not looking for a job. And I'm like, I took the call just to chat with them. I took the second call just to chat with them. And we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, it's like, it does not there is abundance out there. And anyone who, I get it. I was, working, I enjoyed my career before this, so I've been lucky as well. This was a choice around a handshakes and walk through the door. But yeah, there's just so much abundance out there, and just go after it. Show up and just show up. That's like, it's so appalling to me how few people just actually show up, or just put a little effort into something, and because it's beneath them or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
But
Because I'm pretty like switched on right now in my life. I'm like, yeah, and very much nerding
like
out all day on
I hit up
different.
Matt every once in a while because I know he has success energy. Like I hit you up to be like, what are you doing right now? Because I know it's cool. You're like, oh, it's this, and this.
Yeah,
So
I
I
appreciate it.
I was gonna finish with like, what's your recipe for success? But you just said it. It's like just show
It
up,
is.
do the dirty
Just
work,
show up,
enjoy the
do
journey.
the dirty work.
Yeah.
It is 100% my it is my secret sauce, absolutely. Because I tell people, I say, look, you'll find a guy who has more ad spend than I do. You'll find a younger guy. You'll find someone who this, that, and the other, but you won't find anyone who shows up as diligently as I do, um, when it comes to a meeting that's been booked, or something, an obligation that I have to attend to, and that is my secret sauce. And it's actually saved me a lot when clients complain, and I'll be like, hey, I respond to you within like 6 hours. What's the, like, yeah, no, I do love you. I'm just, struggling with this and that. And so I see it as a review that comes my way. And it's also one of the biggest complaints when it comes to like agencies that people retain, is that they fall off a cliff. And I'm not saying I'm not guilty of that in some regard, where it's like no news is good news and everyone's happy, and then you get the blow up. So just getting ahead of it. I have some really slick reporting softwares to let them know I care, and I just try to touch points. Hey, how we doing today?
Mhm.
And that's definitely showing up and just reminding people that we're all still here, and
Mhm.
is a really valuable thing. Because sometimes we get that client and we want the next whatevers to get to fill the funnel, where at the end of the day everyone knows that referrals are going to be your best avenue for sure.
Well, and I tell my clients they're stuck with me. The average person doesn't really care about you. But like
Yeah, you're
the
going to need
reason
a
why,
restraining order if you want
yeah,
to,
the reason why I have my
or a
clients,
better job.
they
Yeah,
like I genuinely care about them and I genuinely
sure.
want them to like grow and learn. So like yeah, it's a little creepy. I told them that, but like they're cool with it. So like my
Love it.
clients stay with me for years just to like checks and balances of like, hey, am I doing this correct on my career development journey? Like, yes, no. I appreciate your time,
Yeah.
Matt. Any last sage words of wisdom, advice?
I think there's a big trend happening, and I think, and you probably, every time try to give you advice, or I was like, yeah, I've been doing that for 4 years. But a community building, and I'm not talking about like a Facebook group or something. This is community building, what you're doing right now, but more so having a resource. And I've started this recently myself. I've had it sort of in the on the bookshelf, so to speak, and now I'm pouring a lot of resources into it, because I had I'll back it up. I had a folder of resources for clients, and I would just add them to a folder as an expensive software, add them to a folder. But it was just like, there you go. There's a whole bunch of resources that they'll never read.
Mm.
But what I'm doing is porting that into a course. So it's a community builder. It's called Mighty Networks. It's one of the better ones. I don't have an affiliate link for you or anything, but it's Mighty Networks is, and there's several of them, but it's a community builder. But then you can also open up courses. So the course, I'm not utilizing to sell the course. I'm utilizing it to give structure to the education of how or where the resources are going to be sitting. So I think that's something that everyone should be doing. One, posting a lot on social, just anything.
In a
I hired a
community,
copywriter the other day from, pardon me,
in a community, posting in a
in
community.
a community, but also like posting on social to get excitement about the community, then moving people over
Uh,
into
into
communities
community.
where you can speak to them freely and
Matt, I wanted
comfortably.
to
You
talk to you,
can't
and
be
I do want to be
platform.
added to your Mighty Networks. That video that you said. So I'm like, yes,
Uh,
by the way, but I wanted to
all
have
right.
the face to face with you.
Yeah, it wasn't the best well-received video, but at the
Really?
end of the day, everyone thinks you're always selling something.
You
But
only need one person. Me.
yeah, I did get people, but I actually halted the messaging because I need
Mm,
to refine it a little bit, which
okay.
it's gone through. But yes, everyone's welcome as long as you give. I can't swear, but as long as you care, and you want to take it seriously. I'm not looking to prop up numbers with any. I'd rather have 100 awesome people than 14,000 or something like some of these community groups that no one does anything in it. I want to build a collaborative environment. Either it's a full structure for people that want to have it done for you, but then or there's the resources for them to do it themselves. But yeah, so that's my suggestion. I didn't mean to get off track there, but just build a community, start talking to people, drop on social media daily. I just posted something on, I do these videos on LinkedIn. I just posted something like, I don't think I'm going to post on LinkedIn today. And it was highly engaged with. It was a one sentence post on LinkedIn, and engagement and impressions through the roof. I'm just like, I rarely know what is actually going to work. I just do it, and then I wait for the results. But yeah, that's it. No, I've appreciated the time, and hopefully someone got some value from this. And just left, right, left. That's it. That's what my only advice. Left, right, left.
And give yourself permission to ask questions. Thanks, Matt.